Good morning, we're the team from Texas Tech University. And imagine taking the best cow in your herd and being able to have that genetic line for years to come. She continually gets bred, she never gets sick, and her offspring is continually better than she ever was. Now with the new processes of genetic selection and genomic selection, we are able to have that and be a reality. Today we're going to be looking at a local newscast in Lubbock, Texas that's asking college students about the perception of this new and innovative technology.
We're going live in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Lubbock. This is WNBC News, Channel 13, the only newscast that covers today's agriculture issues. I'm Ty Gillespie.
And I'm Kylie Elder. In this morning's newscast, we're going to do our popular Do You Know segment with the topic, genomic editing. First, I'm going to send it to Brooke Blum in the studio with our panel of experts.
Good morning, Brooke Blum here, and I'm with our panel of experts here that are going to answer the questions of our consumers. I have Anna Scott, a food science professor at Texas Tech University, Trace McBride, the swine farm manager at Texas Tech, Jess Neislonger, a business management leader for Cargill, Kyle Mahagan, a local cattle producer here around Lubbock, and Cole Perkins, a geneticist for Novel Technologies. I'll now send it to Maddie on campus.
Thanks, Brooke. I'm here on Texas Tech's campus for today's Did You Know segment. Hi there, my name is Maddie Ainsley. I'm with WNBC, and this is today's Did You Know segment. Would y'all like to introduce yourself for our viewers?
Yeah, I'm Ashley Corns. I'm a fine arts major.
And I'm Tyler Largen, and I'm a liberal arts major.
Awesome. Well, have y'all heard of genomic editing?
Isn't that like cloning?
Well, let's send it to the studio and hear from an expert. Brooke?
Thanks, Maddie. I'll let our geneticist actually answer this question.
So, as Brooke mentioned, I work on Novel Technologies, and my focus is on cloning. And so that's actually taking a somatic cell and removing the genetic nucleus, and then replacing it with the genes of the desired animal. And then you're able to create a genetic twin. On the counterpart, genomic editing, such as CRISPR, is utilized just to edit the genes, as the name mentions. You don't actually create an entire genetic twin, you're just enhancing the genetic matrix to help that animal in terms of wellness, health, or create production benefits.
Oh wow, so we're actually starting to help animals?
Cole?
Oh, absolutely. For instance, the SP110 gene helps reduce tuberculosis in cattle. And then also, Swedish researchers have added a protein to sheep milk that allows us to reduce the incidences of anemia in humans. This genetic editing allows us to both improve the health of animals and humans at the same time.
Wow, it's about time we start helping them.
Yeah, it's about time we get to class.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Maddie Ainsley with WNBC on today's Did You Know segment. Would y'all like to introduce yourself for our viewers?
I'm Sam Spradlin. I'm an animal science major.
I'm Matthew Owings, and I'm a meat science major.
Have y'all ever heard of genomic editing?
I've heard a little bit about it in some of my animal science classes, but I know when I was a freshman and I first came here to Tech, we had a PRRS outbreak at the farm. We had to completely depopulate our herd. How does that affect the industry as a whole?
Let's send it to the studio. Brooke?
Thanks, Maddie. I'll let our swine farm manager actually answer this question.
Trace McBride, and as Brooke said, I'm a manager at the swine farm here at Texas Tech University. And as you said, we did have a PRRS outbreak, and we had to repopulate. Now just imagine when a commercial sow farm that runs tens of thousands of head of sows and puts out millions of head of pork that hits the tables every year. Imagine if they were to have an outbreak of PRRS and they had to completely sell out. It would affect the industry because we're putting out less meat. Not only would people be afraid to eat the meat because of the supposed diseases that could be potential, but also it would drive up prices because our demand would be so high.
I kind of like to piggyback off of what Trace said. Kyle Mahagan, I run a small cow-calf operation up in Plainview, Texas. You know, we had a cattle herd of 140 million in 1970. It's down to about 90 million currently. You know, every year we're losing thousands of acres of farmland and pasture land. So with this genetic editing, it helps us create more sustainable agriculture to feed a population that's expected to be right under 10 billion in the year 2050.
Does that answer y'all's questions?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Let's go get some lunch at Calmontis.
That sounds good.
Hi there, Maddie Ainsley with WNBC on today's Did You Know segment. Would y'all like to introduce yourself for our viewers?
Sure, I'm Delaney Hannigan and I'm a nursing major.
I'm Sterling Scott and I'm pre-med.
Awesome. Well, have y'all heard of genomic editing?
Yes, actually I have.
Do you have any opinions on the topic?
Well, I know one of the big concerns when we start messing with the genes of animals is what's going to happen to the humans that are consuming it. And we have diseases out there like cancer and other things that we don't have a specific reason for why they're caused. And I think it could be a reason of why we're, the genes that we're messing with in animals.
Would you be willing to hear from an expert on this topic?
Sure.
Brooke?
Thanks, Maddie. I'm going to let our food science professor answer this one.
Anna Scott, my main focus is food safety. Ma'am, you have no worries. The Food and Drug Administration always extensively tests and does experiments on your product before it hits your table, such as in 2008. Cloned product was actually approved after 7 years of testing, so no worries here.
I'd like to add on to that. I'm a representative from Cargill. And through this genomic editing, we can actually enhance the disease resistance to these animals, and that can help increase our longevity of these animals throughout our herd, as well as our production animals. This means that there will be more animals available to enter the food supply chain. Also, there's a gene that we can edit called the myostatin gene, and that gene causes double muscling. Although it's been tested in multiple species, it's found best to work in mice and cattle. Specifically on cattle, due to this double muscling, that'll increase our yields, it'll increase our yields through an added muscle, but also we can use genomic editing on genes that influence quality, and that, if we can enhance those more, then that relates to a better eating experience for the consumer.
Do y'all have any other questions?
No, I'm definitely gonna have to ask my professors about that side of the story.
Well, you know, Dr. West doesn't like us being late. Better get going.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Well, that concludes our Did You Know segment on Texas Tech's campus today. I'll send it back to the studio with Ty and Kylie.
Another great discussion here at WNBC. Thank you, Maddie.
I don't know about you, Ty, but I feel more educated. Join us next week for the topic of TTP and tariff negotiations.
For all of us here at WNBC, thanks for tuning in. Signing off, I'm Ty Gillespie.
And I'm Kylie Elder.
You stay classy, Lubbock.
As we can see today from our panel of experts in this local newscast, there are multiple benefits to this new and innovative technology. With the human population growing to just shy of 10 billion by the year 2050, and having a very small cattle herd in terms of the past few years, it is crucial to us to have new and innovative technologies that can improve yield as well as quality, and the health benefits to provide healthier stock. With this, we're able to find new benefits that support the consumers, producers, as well as the meat packers. Thank you.
All right, we'll now have 3 minutes for questions.
Squeeze it. Squeeze it. Squeeze it.
What are the negative aspects? What do you guys see as the negative aspects of this process?
As with any science advancement, especially related to food, you get terms such as frankenfood, and most of the negative aspects related to science are always going to be our consumer perceptions. It doesn't matter what we're able to do with technology in the food supply. If the consumer's not going to eat it, or if they're opposed to it, it's never going to function. And that's probably the biggest aspect that we see from the science of everything. Anything from antibiotics, implants, cloning, all of them have had negative outreach, and I expect the same thing for the genomic editing.
So how do we overcome this? How do we effectively communicate to the public, or in what ways can we promote this to get past the negativity? If it's, if there's so many positive aspects to it.
Well, like all sides of advocating agriculture, we always have to fight a stronger fight against the negative information that's put on the social media. So I think we need to do a better job of, instead of just knowing the facts ourselves and getting frustrated with people that don't know the real thing, we need to do a better part in pushing our social media advancements, really getting the truth out to consumers so that when they see something in the store that says antibiotic free, they know everything in the store is antibiotic free. Or if it's GMO free, most of those have never been genetically modified. So it's our part as agriculturists to do a better job of advocating for what is right and how it's benefiting our consumers, and that there are not the negative effects that they think are happening.
Exactly what Maddie said. Openness is our biggest key, especially with this new technology. It's not very well known yet. It's just emerging. Whereas our other technologies for implants, for instance, they emerged, we were utilizing them, and then we had the negative backlash. If we can go ahead and step forward and make a positive foot on this one before it reaches the market, it's going to be a great benefit for us.
Good job.